Hello everyone and welcome to week 7 lecture on promotion. Today I'll be starting off by defining promotion and talking about the different roles that it has. I will then cover IMC or Integrated Marketing Communication, followed by a discussion on establishing the IMC budget. Then I will briefly discuss a case study before going into a discussion about the IMC mix and the different elements of IMC. This includes advertising, public relation, sales promotion, direct marketing, and personal selling. Finally, I will discuss a brief case study. Now, you will remember from week 5 that we were discussing the marketing mix for events, and in that week we talked about 10 different elements of marketing mix for events. Today specifically, we're covering promotion as one of the many elements of the marketing mix for events. So, what is promotion? Basically, promotion refers to all the activities undertaken in order to make a product or a service, and in our case, an event, known to the users. This can include advertising, word of mouth, press releases, public relation. All of these are categorized under promotion. What is then the role of promotion? Promotion is used to create and increase awareness about an event. So you use promotion in order to let your target market know about your event and also to increase their awareness and knowledge about it. Promotion is used to create and enhance a positive image about an event. You could use promotion in order to position an event relative to its competitors. So if you remember, we've been talking about how different ways could be used in order to position an event. Now that could be done through promotion. So you could use promotion in order to position your event relative to the different competitors. And how you would go about positioning your event is maybe through the venue or through the performers or through the program. So if you go back to previous lectures, we've discussed the different ways that you can be used in order to position an event, and that could be done through promotion. Promotion can also be used to inform and remind the target market about the details of an event. So letting the target market know about the location of an event, the ticket pricing, where to purchase tickets, all of these specific information can be communicated with the target market through promotion. And finally, promotion generates demand for an event. Now, we've talked about how different communication channels and promotion tools can be used. So we talked about advertising, PR, word of mouth. All of these are different channels or promotion tools. It is very important that the message that an event organizer sends and conveys to the target market is consistent, despite the use of these different channels. And that's what integrated marketing communication means. So IMC is basically coordinating the various promotional elements that communicate with customers so that a consistent message is sent to them. Otherwise, the target market will get conflicting messages, and they will be confused about the brand of the event and the image of the event. So IMC is the coordination of the different promotional elements that communicate with customers. The objective, obviously, is to create synergy amongst these different elements so that a clear and consistent message is conveyed, that has a higher impact. Now, based on what we've discussed, we can argue that the advantages of IMC, the advantages of integrating and coordinating the different elements, promotional elements, is firstly that a consistent message is conveyed. That's the first and utmost advantage of IMC. The second advantage is that a more effective use of media is made because you're coordinating the message, therefore a better use of media can be made. You could improve the precision of your marketing campaign so that the marketing campaign is more precise and to the point. You could save costs through IMC. When you coordinate and integrate among the different channels, it allows you to save costs. Obviously, you're creating integrity and it allows you to have a creative integrity amongst the different elements. And finally, it also leads into operational efficiency. So these are some of the advantages of making sure that you have a coordinated amongst the various promotional elements. As with all marketing techniques, when you're applying IMC for events and festivals, it needs to be based on knowledge about consumers and about your potential consumers, that is the target market. So when you're thinking about how to use IMC, the starting point is to think about the consumers, their needs and their wants. How an event manages its relationships with its consumers is very important, and it's what drives its brand value. So a brand like the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras, which you can see here, how it communicates and how it coordinates the different communications and messages that it sends out to its consumers makes it unique and differentiates it from another brand like Vivid Sydney. And that's what it's all about, trying to convey a message, try to communicate a message that is firstly coherent, and it's in line with the objectives of the brand, so that the consumer knows exactly what the brand stands for, and there's no conflicting messages about the brand. You might ask what the difference is between traditional communication process, where the different elements of where the different channels and promotional tools are not necessarily integrated, and an IMC process. There's a few differences, so I'm going to take you through the differences between the two. In the first case, in the traditional marketing communication process, each type of promotion has a separate function. So advertising has a separate function, PR has a separate function, personal selling might have a separate function. And this results in fragmented messages being delivered to the consumers. Whereas in IMC, all these different types of promotion are integrated into one strategy, and we have synergy happening. Another difference is that with the traditional marketing communication, the whole process starts with the event and its products. So what the event offers is the focus, and it's what we call a product-oriented marketing style of marketing. Whereas in the IMC process, it all starts with the consumer, what their needs and their wants are. And then the event tries to satisfy the needs and wants of the consumers. So it's more a customer-oriented marketing approach. As I've already said, in the first case, in the traditional marketing communication process, the programs are very much fragmented. There's not necessarily coherence amongst them. Whereas in the IMC process, the program is consistent and it's unified. Usually in a traditional marketing communication process, there are short-term objectives, whereas in the IMC process, objectives are based on building relationships and building a brand for the event. In the traditional marketing communication process, the target is the mass audience. There's not necessarily a specific segment of the market that is trying to be targeted. Whereas in IMC, we have it is specifically targeted towards the consumers, the particular consumers or the specific consumers of an event and its stakeholders. And finally, within the traditional process, each type of promotion has a specialist practitioner. So the advertising can be planned and implemented by an advertisement department. Personal selling communications might be developed by sales management. Other functional specialists are responsible for example, PR, for direct marketing. So each particular type of promotion is dealt with and managed by specific individuals. Whereas in an IMC, we have a particular marketer, a person taking care of the IMC and the integrated campaign. Therefore, they are in charge and they can make sure that there's more coherence amongst the different elements, promotional elements that are being used. Now let's look at an example of a community festival and how they make use of IMC strategy and tools. So this particular community festival has an objective of increasing attendance from an involved market segment. So they have different market segments. One of their specific market segments, which is families with children under the age of 13, this particular market segment is not necessarily involved with this community festival, and they don't attend as much as other market segments. So the objective of the marketing objective, or specifically the promotional objective of the community festival in this case, is to increase attendance from this particular segment of the market. Now, remembering we were talking about where IMC starts from, or where does the process start from, you think about where does the process start from if the community festival were to think of an IMC strategy. Yes, you're absolutely right. The process starts from thinking about the consumers, thinking about this particular segment of the market and what their needs are. Now, in this case, we could think of their needs as being creating unity amongst family members. So maybe parents would want more unity or bonds being created amongst them and their children. So that could particularly be a need of this segment or market segment. Now, in this case, then the community festival needs to convey messages to the market, to the target market, in the most effective and most efficient manner. Now, knowing the needs of the target market or of this particular market segment, what are some of the strategies, IMC strategies and tools that can be used in order to achieve the objective that the festival has in mind? I have a few examples here. So basically the festival could make use of a celebrity, local artist, in order to talk about how attending the festival could facilitate the learning of children and could create bonds amongst parents and their children. And this interview could be published in a local newspaper. This could be followed by a direct mail campaign to local residents. So a mail can be sent out to local residents through the post. And this could also be followed by an email newsletter. There might be a database of those attendees from previous years. So a newsletter can be sent out, an newsletter could be sent out to all the previous attendees, where the same interview with a celebrity local artist is published and sent to them, so they are aware of what is happening. So as you can see in this example, the community festival had a particular promotional objective, it started off by knowing what the needs of their target market is, and trying to address that need by using different communication channels and promotion tools. And as you can see, we gave examples of 3 different ways or 3 different tools that can be used, but in all 3 there was a coherence between what the needs of the target market is, and how the objective of the festival could be achieved through meeting the needs of the target market.